To think that astrology would answer every question that you may ask in your earthly life would, of course, be naive. And to believe that it could would be gullible. But astrology is the map by which we can find our way through life's maze of crossroads. Man has looked to the heavens since his beginning and has never failed to find there the signposts of life. As when traveling from city to city, we are offered many alternate routes. A road map helps us find the most direct and safest route for us to follow. Astrology provides us, through our horoscope, with the road map of our life. Let us now view the map which leads us to the fortunes of Aquarius. Aquarius, the water bearer, is the 11th sign of the astrological zodiac, January 20th to February 18th. As an Aquarius, your planetary ruler is Uranus. Your sign is air. You are of a fixed nature, deliberate, unshakable. As Aquarius, you are the intellectual of the astrological zodiac and have been regarded as the most humanitarian and spiritual since the beginnings of astrology. In most instances, in whatever you do, you will work for the betterment of man and for greater spiritual and philosophical understanding. You go through life being sympathetic, peaceful, and understanding, although you do take very active interest in all things. You tend to fight your battles at the conference table and dislike the false standards of the battlefield. You are courageous and fear nothing, providing you feel you have truth on your side. Not all people understand you of the house of Aquarius. You are profound and may tend to spend many hours in meditation. This, of course, gives you great insight and understanding of the shortcomings of your fellow man. You have a great love of the arts and can spend many hours listening to music, reading poetry, or analyzing what an artist was trying to say in his painting. For you, there can be but one objective, and that is a greater understanding between men. When you have made up your mind or have decided to put some plan into operation, you are extremely firm when others attempt to divert you from it. You have a great amount of natural energy and can work tirelessly in pursuit of a definite goal. Although you are extremely creative, you tend to be more of a thinker than a doer. Rather than paint, you will use your creative ability to think out and attempt to answer some philosophical question. It should not, however, be assumed or thought that you are a daydreamer. That is far too shallow an explanation or analysis of your nature. There is precious little time in your scheme of things to waste it daydreaming. For you, a dream is merely the beginning of some specific objective or plan. It may start as a dream, but you have a strong tendency to attempt to make all dreams a reality, especially dreams for the betterment of mankind. When you embark on any course of action, you do it with great ambition and thoroughness. You also like to see your friends succeed, and as you are ambitious yourself, you like to see ambition in your friends. You will go to great lengths to aid them in realizing their ambitions. In whatever you do, you are efficient and can at times be outspokenly critical of those whom you feel are not. For you, there is the right way and the wrong way to achieve all things. The middle does not exist. You are not overly concerned with which system is used, providing its procedures are correct. In other words, you like to see a job completed, but it must be completed the correct way. This is the only time that you will have confidence that there will be no loose ends to be cleared up later. You are a born leader, especially in philosophical or spiritual matters, and people tend to look to you for answers in these areas. You are a naturally friendly person, and when someone asks a question of you, you answer them with kindness and respect for their mental capacity. While it would be impossible to claim that those of the House of Aquarius are selfish, they are certainly positive, and if they have said no, they mean just that. The reason for them saying no may not at first be apparent, and they can at times be considered uncharitable. But upon reflection, you will find that while their reasons may not have been as charitable as you would have wished, they are probably very sound. For Aquarius, competition is something that is indulged in on almost a purely mental or intellectual plane. And whether a man is taller or a woman more pretty is of no concern to the Aquarius person. Aquarius will never compete for the spotlight simply to impress others. In fact, if he has nothing to say that is constructive, he will in most instances not even stand up. Aquarius, your outstanding qualities are obvious. And if you apply only these qualities, you will reach the ultimate place within your desired sphere. You have a strong tendency to be a loner. Remember, as you often help others, others can often help you. No man is an island unto himself. While it is certainly better to give than to take, remember, there is no sin in receiving that which someone else wishes to give. What we have just discussed are merely the broad and more general Aquarius traits, and can be used as a rule of thumb by which to know yourself and understand your basic motives more clearly. But to further understand what truly motivates you, it is necessary to place you in one of the decans, which divide your sign into 3 separate parts. Those of the sign of Aquarius born between January 20th and January 31st are within the first decan. Those born between February 1st and February 10th are within the second decan. And those born between February 11th and February 18th are within the third and final decan. If you were born within the first decan, January 20th to January 31st, you use your high degree of intelligence to best purpose. You are extremely sensitive and acutely aware of your environment at all times. And this adds to your already outstanding store of knowledge. You conduct yourself courteously at all times, and for you, self-discipline is a way of life. You may be given to long periods of thought and meditation. You have strong leanings towards peace organizations and, as a general rule, a strong dislike of physical force. You are never satisfied until you have studied any question from all sides. And it takes an argument of major proportion, including equal parts of logic, truth, and reason, to sway you from any decisions you have already made. The second decan, February 1st to February 10th, may produce an Aquarian that is quite different from those of the first decan. While you are equally as philosophical, you are far more circumspect when dealing with other people. You tend to be more cautious and are never easily persuaded to join any organization, no matter what its leanings. You are certainly a lone wolf, but this seems to be because of your natural suspicion of the establishment and anything you consider to be of their political, philosophical, or religious beliefs. In many instances, you miss the golden opportunity to ram home your point because you will not allow yourself to be associated in any way with the party line. If you adopt a little of the self-discipline that is to be found in your brothers and sisters of the first decan, you will find that you may be able to accomplish more. Of the 3 decans, those of you born within the third, February 11th to February 18th, are usually the most artistic of your sign, and life in a garret may suit you just fine. You have the ability to move quickly to the root of a problem and start working on its solution immediately. Generosity and sharing are natural and inherent qualities in those of the third decan. Although you feel you are intelligent and capable of profound thought, you still basically believe that all men were created equal. But it is profoundly understood by you that other men do not realize this fact. You also realize that the scales of equality do not remain in balance throughout our life on earth. In whatever you do, you will do with honesty and sincerity, and no more can be asked of anyone. This is best illustrated by such people as Abraham Lincoln, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Charles Dickens, all of the House of Aquarius. For Aquarius, there is but one way that will truly satisfy all of your demands and sensitivities, and that is the way of peace and justice for all.
Aquarius, in choosing your career, be absolutely certain that you first explore and examine all opportunities that would offer you a creative outlet. You will find that your happiness, where work is concerned, is almost totally dependent on whether or not you are associated in some form with the arts. In other words, almost any career that will keep you in close contact with the stage, writing, motion pictures, or the fine arts such as painting and sculpting, or working for a gallery, will supply you with the ingredients that will keep your higher sensitivities interested. Nothing will defeat the Aquarius faster than the mundane, and certain occupations will certainly be detrimental to your well-being. For the female Aquarius, the world of fashion design or costume design, window dressing, or even secretarial work, providing that it is within the creative field, will be your most probable direction. For the male Aquarius, the same holds true, with the additions of publishing, set design, film production work, theatrical production work, writing, fabric design, and some areas of advertising. For Aquarius, whether male or female, if you are not presently engaged in an occupation that gives you a creative outlet, you should certainly consider finding a hobby or part-time interest that will satisfy this inner desire. Not all great painters are from the House of Aquarius, nor all great writers. But whether or not you become another Rembrandt or Shakespeare, you will find that you will gain great satisfaction if you but try to give expression to this natural Aquarius urge. In all likelihood, those of the House of Aquarius will gravitate toward the smaller business organization. This is in keeping with your nature. Seeing as most creative organizations are not the great mergered corporations, you find the intimacy of their working methods more to your liking. If you do become involved in a large organization, beware that you do not become an observer as opposed to one who participates. You will have a strong tendency toward looking at the organization through the eyes of the philosopher and will ask the question, why? You will, in all likelihood, not receive an answer, but you could very well receive your walking papers. Remember, although you will do your work well, you have a strong tendency toward feeling that the corporation is not that important when considering the greater questions that concern man today. In most instances, the children of Aquarius tend to prefer being an employee as opposed to an employer. The amount of time and concern that is necessary to run a business may deter you from ever considering being placed in your own executive suite. Success for you in most instances will be measured by a different yardstick, one of your own personal design. A word of caution in regard to your health. You in most cases take your good health for granted. Do not wait until ill health is upon you before you consider seeking out medical advice. It may be an old saying, but for those of the sign of Aquarius, it still holds a great truth. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Although you will in all likelihood have a long and relatively healthful life, you must not abuse your energies. You are not the most robust of the astrological zodiac, and consequently, you do not have the high recuperative qualities of Sagittarius and Capricorn. You are particularly prone to suffering from illnesses in your old age that you neglected to have cared for in your youth. In all probability, the main complaints that you must be watchful of will be circulatory disorders or general anemia. These can be avoided if the rules of proper nutrition, rest, and physical exercise are observed. Because of your strong tendency to eat merely to stay alive, you do not receive a proper balance of vitamins and minerals in your diet. Remember, you are highly receptive to nature's natural medicines, and in most instances, these are found within our daily meals. Balance for you is of vital importance. Rest. Here again, where you are concerned, you sleep only when the necessity is overpoweringly obvious. Remember, while it may not be in fashion to retire at 9 in the evening, in your case, were you to do this once or twice a week, it would serve you to great effect. Because of your circulation, mild physical exercise, such as jogging, would be very beneficial. But here it is suggested that you check with your physician before embarking on any physical fitness program. A note: by neglecting the rules of good health, you are opening the door to ill health. Aquarius should, as should all other signs, have regular medical checkups. This does wonders for your own peace of mind. In friendship, those of the house of Aquarius will find that they are naturally drawn toward the house of Libra. Because of their nature and their artistic sensitivities, you are well matched for finding things to do while in each other's company. There are, of course, certain drawbacks to this relationship. While Libra is desperately trying to be fair in all matters, you will have a tendency to lose patience when they refuse to admit that someone has proven deceitful. This could cause minor disagreements between you, but on the whole, your relationship with this house will be extremely good and of the highest qualities in regard to loyalty. You may also find an attraction toward Leo. You could be fascinated by his go-ahead nature. In marriage, Gemini stands out as the obvious choice. Your inherent qualities of understanding and your ability to look beyond the obvious match you well with this house. And a union formed between Aquarius and Gemini will in most cases bear the fruits of love, loyalty, and devotion. The Aquarian male will have a strong magnetism for the opposite sex, and he will not easily be guided to the altar. He will shop with care and a high degree of caution before committing himself to anything as grave as he considers marriage to be. But when he does take that step, send out the invitations quickly, for he falls completely and totally in love and is most anxious to carry the woman of his choice to his lair. In many instances, the male of Aquarius may be thought of as something of a wanderer. He is not. He's extremely faithful to his mate, but he does have an incurable curiosity about people. And because of this intense magnetism, many women, including his mate, may take this to be an invitation to a sexual relationship. Advice for you would be simple. While you may be well-meaning, be cautious. The female of Aquarius will have no shortage of interested males. And in any relationship, her intuition will always guide her to the right man. Here again, she is a curious woman and has the same magnetism as her male counterpart. Advice for you would also be simple. Be cautious. Whether male or female, the children of the House of Aquarius will fight long and hard to preserve their marriages and personal relationships. But once they have decided that nothing more can be done to remedy a disintegrating relationship, they will, with heavy heart, move on to a more sympathetic environment. In whatever you attempt, luck will play a natural role. While you are not the luckiest of all the signs, you are by no means unlucky. You can do much to aid your luck, such as being sure that certain colors are always to be found in your environment. For you of the House of Aquarius, black and dark blues are most advantageous, and you should always have them close at hand. These colors should always be considered where wagers are concerned. The numbers that should be most beneficial to you are 9, 10, and 21. When these numbers are mixed with your colors in any combination, it should prove to be most advantageous. The amethyst, being your birthstone, is also a jewel of good fortune and should be worn whenever possible. The days of the week that may prove to yield the best results where important decisions are involved are Monday and Thursday. Of the 12 months of the year, April could prove to be the least fruitful, while June, September, and October can give you desired results. Aquarius, your age is truly dawning. Be patient, for man's acceptance of its arrival may be long. Your qualities are unmatched, and when used for the betterment of mankind, you will be fulfilling your true purpose in life.
Your fortune is in the stars. Your horoscope can show you the way. But as in all things, you are the judge and the jury. You must make your own way through life and make the decisions that only you can make with any degree of total understanding. You are the leader, but the stars can be your guide. Your fortune awaits.